For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. First play, Watson to the air. This is the tight end, Njoku. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's 2nd and 10.
That's all you want.
Watson now to throw. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. First carry for Nick Chubb. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson escaping the pressure right. And he's got his receiver, Cooper. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Call that a very strong gain of 24. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He's got it. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Scoring first, so critical in the postseason. They've got it here, 1st and goal. Chubb is not going to get in. In fact, he'll lose a couple of yards back to the 3. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
2nd down and goal. Watson. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Steelers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. And certainly, look, you're on the road in the playoffs. That is a suboptimal start, opening drive INT.
And, partner, sometimes I wonder, do these teams talk about it to such an extent that maybe you almost talk yourself into the turnover when you're trying to avoid it?
Yeah, maybe they get a little too worried about keeping the football, and then you give it to the other team right off the bat. And, look, we said it, on the road, this is just a terrible, terrible start for them.
It is, and now they've got to rely on their defense.
And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10.
Partner, I think that play echoed a short yardage run. I know they're backed up against their own goal line, but when they stack the defensive line like that, If you find any type of a crease, you're up to the third level before you know it.
Out from the shadows of their goal line, here's 1st and 10 from the 11. To the air on 1st down with Pickett. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. Bulldozes past him. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the 1st down carry. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now here's another carry for Harris. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 44 yards rushing so far, and this is just their first possession. They've got a new set of downs here.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
Pickett's throw into the hands of Pickens. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Pickett now on 1st down. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And he'll get this to the 22. So they began the play at the 11, and it's a gain of 11. 1st down. They run the play fake. Here's Pickett. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Pickett now to throw off the play fake. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Pickett sets up play action. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they'll get this down to the 10. And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's 1st and goal. 1st and 10. Here's Pickett. Throw left side complete. That's Harris. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
In motion right, here comes Johnson. Pickett now, 3rd and goal. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Jadeveon Clowney able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down. Boswell's kick is good, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Browns drive about to get started. Their 2nd drive here, the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Faking the give. Now Watson. He's going to let it go again. He's got a man. Complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Off of play action, it's Watson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. Cooper will come in motion right. Watson off play action. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. To the air yet again, Watson. He's going to drop this one down for Chubb. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Watson will step away, and out comes Cade York to handle this 4th down field goal try for the Browns. York able to send this one through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity. Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary, all of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw, Pickett. Complete, it's Johnson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Pickett to throw on 1st down. He's got his tight end Freiermuth over the middle. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
One of the best in the NFL in no small part because of his running ability. But on that play, didn't matter to the defense at all. Nice stop for them, a feather in their cap for getting the sack and brought down one of the toughest guys to catch in the NFL.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Pickett. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They gave it a shot with a deep pass, but it wasn't going to work there. And now there's less time for them to try and get 3 before the half. Let's see what they dial up on this next snap.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Browns drive about to get started. And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. So it's on to halftime of this AFC divisional round matchup as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And CD, we are in for a very intriguing second half. This is what we wanted, all tied. This is what postseason football is all about.
It certainly is. And doesn't it speak to the parity in the NFL? Roughly half the teams that made the playoffs a year before miss the next year, get replaced. We know it's an any given Sunday mentality. Nothing's easy in the playoffs, but when you have your shot, they're eager to seize it.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Off the play fake, here's Pickett.
Finding Johnson on the out route. That's complete. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
On 1st and 10, it's Pickett.
That's swung out wide to Harris.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Off play action, Pickett.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Johnson. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
The Pickett finding Johnson there. First down, Steelers. Pickett, he's going to throw it again.
It's brought in by Harris.
And he'll be marked out at about the 26-yard line.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. Looking to throw, Pickett. Looking for Pickens. He's got him on the out route.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
Now Pickett.
Eluding the pressure right. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And this is picked up by the Browns. And nothing but daylight ahead. The 30. 10. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. So many times tight games decided by one big play. A lot of times, of course, it's the offense. Here, it's the defense coming up huge.
And you know head coaches walk around locker rooms, walk around bench areas saying, guys, somebody make a play. It's a cliche, but it applies here.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And the lead is now 10-3. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side.
He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 48-yard line.
To the air on 1st down with Pickett. Throw left side, hauled in by Pickens.
And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple.
Pickett, he'll look to throw it. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth.
And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 25-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs. 1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Dialing up another pass here. Pickett. And here's Freiermuth again. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down.
Pickett.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Johnson. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
From the 4, it's 2nd and a couple. They run the play fake. Here's Pickett.
Flushed out right. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. From 4 yards out.
And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. Boy, a potential game changer there here in the 4th quarter to kick that out of bounds, and now they get great field position at the 40 in a tie ball game.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10.
At the 40. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And that is incomplete.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. T.J. Watt from that outside linebacker spot gets in there. It's a loss of 9. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
3rd and long. It's Watson. And That will be incomplete. The defense did their job. Fourth quarter, big stand.
No doubt about it, because the offense has been yelling at them from the sideline. Just do us a favor. Get us the ball back. Give us one more chance to take it downfield. The defense just did them a solid, it appears.
And when they get the ball back, they can kind of play free tie game. They're not behind. He'll return it from the 6. A big boot that time. 57 yards, the official distance. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And as a fan of the NFL, not much more you could hope for in this divisional round matchup. Tie game, 4th quarter. A lot of these fans with their hearts in their throats waiting to see what happens here. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave them with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Pickett will look to throw it here. He gets it complete to Harris. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
Pickett sets up play action.
He's got a man, complete.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
That is the exact right play call against that defense. So a hat tip to the offensive play caller, because he won that part of the chess match. But give credit to his players as well. They won the execution part of it.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Harris running straight ahead, and he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie.
Here's Pickett.
He gets this one to Johnson.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Nice, well coached, a team that understands what's going on. They still have time to work the middle of the field as they just did there.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
They hand this off to Harris. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Pickett to throw.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Najee Harris
taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Steelers have broken our tie and have taken a 4th quarter lead.
Apparently the week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rush in the regular season. Got his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
A great article in the paper this morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him, and he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main guy.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes it a 17-10 score. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going. Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear in risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get them to completion.
Watson to throw.
He's going to let it fly. He's got a man complete. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
To throw, Watson. On a bad time late for a poor throw. It's intercepted.
It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it.
And the Steelers have just about sewn up this football game. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go.
Working with a 2nd and 4.
They'll run again with Harris. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. But what we just saw, we've seen a lot of broken tackles, and they're leading to a huge touchdown play.
Yeah, none of them more glaring than what we just saw there, but we've seen it throughout this game, whether it's in tight, running through the line, out in open field. They haven't been able to get these runners down very well. I have a feeling they'll be in pads a lot next week, working on their tackling.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and the lead now up to 14. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Browns drive about to get started. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
Now Watson. He's got a man complete. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. Here's Watson. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. And the Steelers going to survive and advance as we say so long, everybody.
On the clock now, the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's the Cowboys now on the clock. The Minnesota Vikings are now on the clock. Now on the clock, the Texans. It's now the Arizona Cardinals selection. They're on the clock. The New England Patriots are now on the clock. The Denver Broncos are on the clock. Now on the clock, the Rams. It's the Steelers now on the clock. The New York Jets are now on the clock. The Atlanta Falcons are now on the clock. On the clock now, the Chicago Bears. The Houston Texans are now on the clock. The Las Vegas Raiders now on the clock. It's the New Orleans Saints now on the clock. It's the Carolina Panthers now on the clock. On the clock now, it's the Green Bay Packers. The Cleveland Browns are now on the clock. On the clock now, it's the Miami Dolphins. The Minnesota Vikings now on the clock. It's the Philadelphia Eagles now on the clock. With the next selection, the Browns are on the clock. On the clock now, the Los Angeles Rams. On the clock now, the Baltimore Ravens. The Bengals now on the clock. The Detroit Lions now on the clock. On the clock now, it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Next up, the Indianapolis Colts are on the clock. The Buffalo Bills are now on the clock. The 49ers on the clock now. It's the Cleveland Browns now on the clock. The Philadelphia Eagles on the clock now. It's now the Vikings' turn on the clock. On the clock now, the Houston Texans. The Cardinals on the clock now. Next up, the Patriots are on the clock. The Denver Broncos are now on the clock. The Los Angeles Rams are up. They're on the clock. The Pittsburgh Steelers on the clock now. With the next selection, the New York Jets. With the next selection, the Falcons are on the clock. The Colts now on the clock. Next up, the Cleveland Browns are on the clock. With the next pick, the Raiders are on the clock. The Dallas Cowboys are now on the clock. The Carolina Panthers now on the clock. The Green Bay Packers are on the clock. On the clock now, the Seattle Seahawks. The Miami Dolphins now on the clock. And now on the clock, the Minnesota Vikings. Now we turn to the Eagles. They're on the clock. The New York Giants on the clock. The Los Angeles Rams now on the clock. On the clock now, it's the Los Angeles Chargers. The Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock. It's the Detroit Lions now on the clock. It's the Bucks now on the clock. The Indianapolis Colts are now on the clock. The Washington Commanders are now on the clock. The New Orleans Saints are now on the clock. The San Francisco 49ers are now on the clock. With the next pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars are on the clock. With the next selection, the Saints are on the clock. The Chargers are up now. They're on the clock. On the clock now, the Houston Texans. The Arizona Cardinals are now on the clock. On the clock now, the New England Patriots. Next up, it's the Packers on the clock. Up next, the Philadelphia Eagles are on the clock. With the next selection, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Next up, the Jets are on the clock. It's the Atlanta Falcons now on the clock. It's now the Indianapolis Colts selection. Now on the clock, it's the Las Vegas Raiders. The Panthers are on the clock. The Green Bay Packers are now on the clock. Next up, it's the Seahawks on the clock. Next up, it's the Dolphins on the clock. The Minnesota Vikings are now on the clock. It's the Philadelphia Eagles now on the clock. Now on the clock, the Giants. Now on the clock, the Rams. The Baltimore Ravens are on the clock now. With the next selection, the Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock. Now the Seattle Seahawks are on the clock. Next up, the Indianapolis Colts are on the clock. Next up, the Commanders are on the clock. It's the Tennessee Titans now on the clock. Now on the clock, the San Francisco 49ers. On the clock now, the New Orleans Saints. The Los Angeles Chargers now on the clock. Now on the clock, the Texans. And now on the clock, it's the Arizona Cardinals. It's the New England Patriots, now on the clock. Next up, it's the Broncos on the clock. On the clock now, the Los Angeles Rams. The Pittsburgh Steelers are now on the clock. The New York Jets on the clock now. On the clock now, it's the Atlanta Falcons. The Houston Texans are now on the clock. The Las Vegas Raiders are on the clock. It's the Dallas Cowboys now on the clock. With the next selection, the Carolina Panthers on the clock. On the clock now, it's the Green Bay Packers. With the next pick, the Miami Dolphins are on the clock.